New on Curiosity Stream.
Just because it hasn't been done before doesn't mean you can't.
Watch Earth's greatest minds forge our path to a better tomorrow. It's engineering the future. And Jaws, Star Wars, The Godfather, E.T. The biggest movies have even bigger music. From King Kong to The Dark Knight. See how musicians scored Hollywood's greatest hits on great film composers' music of the movies. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit CuriosityStream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Hey, Ola, it's Miles. Thank you guys for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast.
Have you heard our newest podcast? It's called The Greatest Story Never Told.
Download it today on radio.com. Be sure to subscribe. New episodes are uploaded every Tuesday at noon.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
And away we go. Welcome to season 16, episode number 3419. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and Mike Hawk. And you are the Men's Room. On tap today, the most hated bands of all times. On a Band Choice Friday. The return of Ted versus the FCC. Plus headlines, a Men's Room shot of the day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted.
Click, clack, jiggity jar.
All right, here we go. Florida man masturbating in Walmart parking lot tells the cops he's lonely as his girl is in Colorado. Yeah. Meanwhile, newlyweds find out that the sauna at the hotel they're staying at had a one-way mirror, and everyone could see down below. So you can now buy a scarf that looks like 2 boobs a-hanging. Dad of newborn runs off with girlfriend's mom, who he was a-banging. And Florida woman repeatedly stabbed sister with an EpiPen, saying she's allergic to drunks. She should probably move out of Florida. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, Valentine's Day 2021 has mercifully come and gone. But like every Valentine's Day, people stepped up their game to prove to the person that they love that they actually love them. Now, some people buy flowers and cards. Some people make dinner plans or romantic plans. And some people, well, they get their penis stuck in a metal ring in a bid to impress a girlfriend. That's exactly what happened to a man in Thailand. Doctors had to remove it carefully with a saw. Now, he's not the only person to fail in his act of love. In United Arab Emirates, a man was arrested for the most United Arab Emirates crime you could possibly commit. He stole a camel as a gift for his girlfriend. Well, apparently wanted a camel. And in Maine, a guy celebrated Valentine's Day by himself, but not to worry, that didn't stop him from making himself dinner, taking a candlelit bubble bath. The only problem was that he broke into someone's house to do all of that, but nevertheless, he enjoyed a fine bath. No. He was arrested. And then there's the Florida man. Now, he was secretly in 2 serious relationships, which makes me wonder what the word serious means. Anyway, he gave an engagement ring to one of them. Then he stole the ring back so he could give it to the other woman as he proposed to her. Now he's single and in jail. But look, love makes people do really stupid things. It always has. Presumably, it always will. And today we want to hear your or someone else's story of that dumbass thing you did Because you were in love. Uh-huh. So here's today's question. What dumbass thing did you or someone else do in the name of love?
Be part of the big show. Call 206-421-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live. And send those emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
New on Curiosity Stream.
Just because it hasn't been done before doesn't mean you can't.
Watch Earth's greatest minds forge our path to a better tomorrow. It's engineering the future. And Jaws, Star Wars, The Godfather, E.T. The biggest movies have even bigger music. From King Kong to The Dark Knight. See how musicians scored Hollywood's greatest hits on great film composers' music of the movies. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Oh, drat. I was driving along minding my own business when that vulgar leech hit my Beamer with his pickup truck. I fear I've fractured my clavicle.
I say, old boy, don't simply put it in the hands of your insurance company to sort it out. Talk with the dedicated road solicitors at the Advocates Law Firm.
Pipe down, you old sod. The Advocates will see your case through to the bitter end and won't sleep a fortnight until they have victory in their grasp.
Jolly good, old man. Jolly good indeed. You get injured, the Advocates get results. AdvocatesLaw.com.
We return to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Hotels and away we go. Welcome to season 16, episode number 3,419. What a large and a charged program we have for you today on a positive Friday.
Positive Friday.
Oh my God, we have busted our ass this week. We finally made it to the weekend and a Friday. What an incredible show for you we have. Steve, you and I were up pretty late last night.
Really.
New tongue twisters for Ted to take on in Ted versus the FCC. But would you believe this?
What?
A listener submitted Ted versus the FCC.
Son of a bitch, man. We
came in last night.
If we had known then, we would not have worked so hard.
As
we've done all week.
It's a good one. It's a kind of a tribute to our KISW's 50th anniversary celebration.
Oh, really? Oh,
lasting
nice.
all year long. Yeah. We might could do the same one every single week.
Huh, okay.
Gotta get it right, Ted. But Ted versus the FCC coming up. And, of course, we will drink and we will toast into the weekend with a shot of the day. Then it's Bad Choice Friday time.
You know it's Bad Choice Friday.
It's Bad Choice Friday.
You know it's Bad Choice Friday.
Hey, man, this is your fault.
And believe it or not, today on Bad Choice Friday, what they say is science is what we are using on our selections today, believe it or not. Science. The most hated bands of all time, they're pretty hard to qualify and to quantify. But if you ask 100 people who their most hated band is, and 99 of them will say the same thing, if you ask them to name the top 10, you get a wide variety of results.
Sure.
For the most part. Well, one website out there, they use science and math to determine the most hated bands of all time. So what they did was they created an algorithm based on things like most hated lists, message boards, and articles, and came up with the top or bottom 21. Now, some of the bands on the list, we know and love. Others, we, have our own opinions
Or
about.
some that we kind of like. Might be surprised with that.
Rush is number 18.
I mean, can you hate Rush? You don't have to like Rush, but I can't imagine hating Rush.
Linkin Park is number 21.
All right.
Spin Doctors come in at number 20.
Understand that.
Spin Doctors were only there for one album.
But they had one real album that anyone notices, and people hated it enough that they still make the list.
Oasis at number 16. As far as the classic rock genre.
But Oasis, to their credit, I only remember the one album before they imploded, but it was awesome.
But I think people hate Oasis because of the brothers.
Because of Liam.
Probably.
The music is what it is. If you like the Beatles, you like them. But the brothers are just such obnoxious douchebags.
There's not a band on here that I don't like a song or two. You know what I mean? All these bands, they're famous.
Spin Doctors, really?
Well, I mean, what the hell is the name of that album? Two Princes. There was a song or two on there that was good. Not that one, but they had other ones, I'm sure.
Not the one I'm singing.
Miles, look, if you like Spin Doctors, just say it,
Just
man.
say it, bro.
It's
I
all
think I saw him
right.
one time in concert, man. I might have bought the T-shirt. No, I didn't do that, but I'm pretty sure I saw him before he lost his voice.
I bet you saw them. I bet you liked them.
They weren't bad.
See?
It was one of those concerts where it was like absolutely 1994.
Oh, you actually did see
Yeah, it was like Collective Soul, Spin Doctors, Gin Blossoms, Toad the Wet Sprocket. rock.
Can you tell, if you close your eyes, could you tell the difference between any of those bands?
Do you know why I went there? We'll get there with a question.
I'm going to say it has to do with the question of the day.
I thought it was have to do with drugs.
No, it has some, well, probably that too.
Hey, I
Drinking,
saw,
drugging, and loving. You know what I mean?
Drinking, drugging, and loving.
Yeah.
Saw John Mayer and who was it? Maroon 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
No, it's not. But I wanted to get laid, so I went.
Right. Doors are on the list. If you're a classic rock fan, they're a little bit polarizing. Some people like the Doors, some people do not. I think once you listen to the Doors once, it's enough.
Yeah, it's a specific mood and time.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They're not bad, but, like, I don't want to be in the mood. That, it's like watching Full Metal Jacket. It's a fine movie, but by the end of it, like, I'm not in a great place.
Yeah, Jimmy, you're the Lizard King. Who cares?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now you're giving yourself nicknames. I'm the Lizard King.
Is that what you would have picked?
No.
They were like, I'm Big Dong Thrill.
Exactly.
If
and
we could just pick
I
it.
can do anything.
Right.
Walk with a cane. Coldplay is 11. These are the most hated bands all time. Keep in mind, they did an algorithm to get this. Kiss is number 9.
I can believe that.
Radiohead comes in at number 8. Fish at number 7.
Sure.
The band Fish. You either love Fish, I guess, or you hate Fish. They've got quite the fan base.
I love their shows.
Yeah.
Do they have a big fan base, or is it just a dedicated fan base?
I think both.
Like,
It's bigger than you would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
But Fish people aren't like, Deadheads tell everybody.
Yes.
Fish people, it's just like, oh man, you went to the last Fish show? I've been to 30.
Yeah,
and then you're like, okay.
I didn't know.
You go to a Fish show, there's a chance you're going to get laid.
I believe that.
Just know that. I mean, you are. You're going to sleep in a tent. You know, it's chances are in a parking lot you're going to get laid.
So
I
far,
have a Fish hat that's like, because they played here, this was years ago, but it's in the colors of the Sonics. And like, you'd be amazed that people like when I wear that hat are like, Fish guy, huh? Me too.
as a guy, the only band you've gone through so far where you're probably not going to get laid is Rush.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
If you go to their concert.
I mean, you know, it's like, you can tell. You know, there's
Taryn is taken.
But Fish,
It's the only female Rush fan
She's
I know.
the only chick there.
Fish, you can't tell you're a Fish fan. You know what I'm saying?
They hide it better than Deadheads. Like, Deadheads want you to know they're a Deadhead.
Yeah, Fish fans have jobs.
So Bob Dylan is number 6. That's exactly right. Bob Dylan is 6 on the list as far as the science and math. Yeah, I mean,
I don't think he's good, but I honestly hate him.
You consider him a singer-songwriter and a poet and all that stuff. You either like Bob Dylan or you don't. I think he's got a number of great albums out there, but it's a polarizing thing. Mumford & Sons is number 5.
Boo.
Now, you like Mumford &
I
Sons.
love Mumford.
And they're an up-tempo band, right? They're one of those that they came in that little weird, like, I'm going to play.
They have slow ones. They have
Albert.
they have all that stuff.
Yeah.
They're fine.
To
me, it's something you put on in the background of a party, and you're probably in a good mood, but I'm not really paying attention.
Actually, Mumford & Sons to me sounds like when you come back from the Fish show, and now you've made it to the camping area parking lot,
and that's what
the
they're
people
playing.
in the circle have all gotten together and decided that this is the kind of jug music they want to play. To me, that's Mumford & Sons.
Nothing
right?
against Mumford & Sons, but it sounds too close to Sanford & Sons, so in my mind, they should sound different.
Mumford!
You big dummy.
He could have been a
Get that jug and blow in it. Exactly.
Yeah, and Mumford's one of those bands. The first time I saw them, I was like on a whim. I was by myself, drunk on whiskey, and I was like, God damn, I love this stuff.
Sure. Number 4 on the list of the most hated bands ever, according to Science and Math, that would be U2. U2 was one of the first bands that I really, really liked growing up. I love U2. And then all of a sudden I didn't like U2 anymore because they started to suck.
They were okay.
They had, in my mind, growing up, they had, 4 or 5ve albums that I thought were
Boy
really
is
good.
an awesome album in my mind.
Yeah.
He's talking to me. And by the way, just want to make you uncomfortable.
No, that'd be MLK.
Boy,
the
that's a good album.
Since it's Black History Month. In the Name of Love, Pride is about Martin Luther King, I believe.
I'll turn you in HR. Miles, someone here says, I'm with you. Spin doctors are awesome. That's right. Miles, president of their fan club.
Wow, thanks. There's 2 of us. Creed at number 3. Now, you can say what you want about Creed, and Creed is a very polarizing band. But if you look at the band itself, now this is Alter Bridge without Miles Kennedy. That's what basically Creed is. And if you listen to the old Creed albums, whether you like What's His Face or not,
Scott Stapp,
the band itself, as far as a rock band, they put out great rock music. You might not like
but
the lead
they
singer.
know this, and that's why they form Alter Bridge.
Right.
I don't think it's Creed that people hate. I think it's Scott Stapp, but people hate him so much that the band ends up getting roped in.
I'm sure if Creed did a reunion, the people would go. I mean, there's a lot, at least they wouldn't Florida.
Creed's a little tougher.
Because you got to buy
Well, they'd have to play with someone else. else. You know what I mean? Like Creed and someone else. You know what I mean? Like
you're not
Judas
spending your
Priest.
money.
Almost every band you've named on there, I could see people feeling nostalgic about, but people still seem to legit hate Creed.
If Scott Stapp is there,
Look, man, we can't. There's not one of these. I think I would pass a free. We were talking about
free tickets are different.
One of the bands that's on the list I didn't bring up, but it's like a free
for
ticket
free. I would go.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We talked about that the other day.
I don't hate them. I just wouldn't.
I'm
spend
just saying, as out of the top 10, Dave Matthews is number 10 on here. I've seen Dave Matthews a couple times. He puts on a great show. Whether you like Dave Matthews or not, the show's good.
It's fine.
Good. Then I was on acid, but whatever. It's a good time. What's that?
You don't have to look at me. I mean, I said this to Thrill for years. Like, I don't love Dave, but I'm white. They're just, I don't know how to explain it. There's just certain songs I love.
You said it's like the white Stevie Wonder. So, man, there's just something.
The worst part about me seeing Dave
like
Matthews.
if you said you want to go see Dave Matthews, like, hell yeah.
I saw him at Nissan Pavilion, which is outside of Washington D.C., headed west. It's basically the bigger amphitheater.
Do you know what that is now?
Area. No, what is it called?
The Jiffy Lube Center.
The Jiffy Lube Center.
That's a terrible name. I mean, I like Jiffy Lube, but dude.
What if when you pull your car in, you could get your oil changed?
That would be cool.
That would be like killing
Why
two
it's
birds
funny,
with one
but-
stone.
Yeah, it is.
Jiffy Lube Center. Yeah, so I basically saw Dave Matthews in the home of Dave Matthews as far as the bigger amphitheater.
He's what, Virginia?
He's from
West Virginia or something?
Yeah, Charlottesville's probably got a football stadium you can play in. But either way, it was like a hometown show. So everybody there was named like Spencer or Chet. You know what I mean? It was just as Virginia.
Were you wearing your Docksiders?
No, and I didn't wear a polo shirt. I did not blend that day. But I was on acid, so who cares? So Creed is number 3. Now we get down to our, what?
You have some guesses here. People are guessing Journey must be number 1.
Ooh, that hurts.
Chili Peppers, Smashing Pumpkins. They get thrown in there as well.
I can't believe they're not on the list.
Oddly enough, Smashing Pumpkins, Chili Peppers, Journey, not on the list, but Spin Doctors, the only band you've mentioned that people are like, yeah, all right, we're cool.
No, yeah, that's not how it's going to roll. Number 2 on the list. I don't know how far we go back. Do we go back 20-some years for this one, I believe? The second most hated band, according to Science and Math, believe it or not, is Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, Mike, but they're very poetic.
I stand by Significant Other. I love that album.
Fred Durst, Nookie from the band Limp Bizkit. I used
to listen to this on one of those CD players that had a tape, like a tape to it, and you put the tape in the tape machine, and then the CD would play through that.
Also in your car, you mean?
Damn, in the car.
That worked out great.
That's rock and roll right there, bro.
Limp Bizkit, the number 2 most hated band of all time, taking on, obviously, the number 1 most hated band of all time.
'Cause we all just wanna be big rock stars and live in hilltop houses driving 15 cars.
The website used Science and Math to determine the most hated bands. They created an algorithm based on things like most hated lists from Rolling Stone or whoever, message boards and articles. They came up with a top 10. Limp Bizkit is number 2. Nickelback is number 1.
Oddly enough, both Limp Bizkit and Nickelback sell, 10 million copies every time they put out.
You can hate them as much as you want. They don't care.
They dry their tears on $100 bills.
Here's how you vote on our choices today on a Bad Choice Friday. All you got to do is follow us on Twitter at Men's Room Live and vote for either Limp Bizkit or Nickelback. We don't consider either one of those tunes a bad choice, I don't think.
Look, man, for yourself on that.
I liked what was the other song? I liked the Quesadilla from Nickelback. That was kind of catchy. What was that?
Photograph, right?
Yeah. No, that was Look at That Photograph. They all sound the same. What's the one? He's like, I like the. Is it Rockstar the one we're playing?
It might be Rockstar, dude.
So it's a dude from ZZ
I just
Top
like the fact
steps
that he
in, and that's his line.
I like the fact that
quesadilla.
I like the fact that they reference quesadilla. You know what I mean? You don't get that in a lot of rock music. I enjoy food.
I wonder why that is.
Because it's hard to rhyme with.
I mean, I still think Nickelback just got well. Granted, a lot of their songs sound alike, but they just had so much airplay. It just was like everybody loved them, and then just kind of flipped on them.
I think he just got sick of it.
Yeah, Limp Bizkit, Fred Durst was a lot back in the day, so he didn't rub people the right way.
No.
Yeah, that
sounds horrible.
So will it be?
You didn't rub me right, Fred.
Right, he rubbed people the wrong way.
Not he didn't rub them the right way.
Come on, Fred.
It's a coaching opportunity.
Limp Bizkit and Nookie taking on Nickelback and Rockstar. That's those are your choices there on a Bad Choice Friday. All right, a question today. We're going to talk about dumb decisions that people make in the name of love, stupid things you do. Steve and I, we already determined that love and getting laid pretty much falls into the same category.
Look, man, I went to that Maroon 5 John Mayer show, and Maroon 5, it was their first album, which was decent. John Mayer I've just never liked. Ended up being a very good show, to be fair. But that's not why I went. I went to get laid. Now, fast forward 17 years, I'm now married to that woman that I just wanted to have sex with. And since then, now that we're married and sex is a joke, the idea is, all right, now I'm just doing things because I love you. Like, hey, we can go to South Korea or Delaware. Oh, we went to Delaware. And Ted, I remember the comment you made to me before it's probably 10, 12 years ago. We're about to go on vacation. We're all for a week, 2 weeks, whatever it was. I'm just pissed, right? South Korea was the plan. Delaware ended up being the thing because I wanted to do South Korea because to me, that's an interesting place. I'm from Maryland. Delaware is not interesting. And if you're not from the East Coast, here's news. Delaware is still not interesting. Anyway, went to Delaware, and I remember Ted looked at me and said, man, I've never seen anyone look so pissed off before they're about to catch a flight to go on vacation. Well, yeah, I'm unhappy.
You know what, man? And you're right. And you're right.
Here's the thing. That was love. That was not sex. John Mayer, Maroon 5, purely to have sex with you. Like, fine, I get it.
Yeah.
I will sit through the show, and then we have sex. In Delaware, it's like, you know I'm angry about this. I want to kill you, but I love you, so fine.
I was thinking about this the other day. I had a conversation with somebody. We were talking about the eastern shore of Maryland and in Delaware and all that area. And I'm like, it's all right. You know, it's this nostalgia for me there. And I'm like, honestly, it's just where white people go. Like, it's just so many white people. Yeah. They all go to Delaware and all that. Uh-huh. And if you live in D.C. and Baltimore and you don't want to go to Ocean City and you're black, you go to Virginia Beach.
You ain't kidding.
So it's like there's two different vacation spots in that one area. If you're white or you're black. If you're white and you got family, you go to, like, Rehoboth and you go to Dewey. And if you're, like, young, you go to Ocean City. And then, you know what I mean? Like,
well, Rehoboth's all right because at least it's next to Dewey. The worst is Bethany.
Bethany's got a nice little putt-putt golf course, Ted, and a totem pole in the middle of town.
Yeah, it's for families.
A putt-putt golf course. That's your sales pitch.
Yeah.
I would just say that between Virginia Beach and Delaware, which one do you think might need more lifeguards? Throw that out.
Either way, yes. So today on the question, what dumbass thing did you or someone else do in the name of love? We started in the United Arab Emirates. It's an interesting story.
All right.
Police have arrested a man for allegedly stealing a highly valuable newborn camel to give to his girlfriend for her birthday. The newspaper there reported the owners of the baby camel reported the theft from their farm earlier this month, according to the local newspaper, prompting police to fruitlessly search the area. Several days later, a guy called authorities to say that he's got a stray camel wandering onto his farm about 2 miles away. When interrogated, that's when the man's story fell apart, according to police. He soon admitted to trespassing on the neighborhood farm to steal a rare breed of camel for his girlfriend. Settling for the newborn after failing to wrangle an adult. So he tried for the big boy, couldn't get the big boy, then somehow managed to get the baby out of there. The man reported the animal when he grew worried about being caught. Police returned the camel to its owners and arrested the suspect and his girlfriend on charges of theft and making a false statement. So she must have made the false statement. She got arrested as well.
I can't believe he's with a woman who, for her birthday, wanted a camel.
Now, keep in mind,
maybe it's just me, but that seems like a red flag. Like, when I get your birthday, baby, I want a camel.
And they're not sure why this is a rare camel, because right now, camels aren't walking around the UAE like they used to. They say, like, there's skyscrapers all over this place where this guy's farm is. He's basically...
Well, yeah, if you're right there.
Yeah, he's downtown. But they continue to raise camels for food and milk, and camel racing remains a cherished pastime. So they believe that this was a racing camel.
So it's like stealing Secretariat.
Exactly. So what dumbass thing did you or someone else do in the name of love? 206-421-Rock. We'll take a quick break. Come back with your calls right after these. Walk.
New on Curiosity Stream, she was a loving wife, a devoted mother. She also stole atomic secrets and gave them to the Soviets. Meet the woman whose deception kick-started the Cold War on the spy who stole the atom bomb. And
what if they catch you?
Then I shall be shot.
They're coming! Come back!
relive history's most death-defying escapes. It's Impossible Escapes, Civil War. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit CuriosityStream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Oh, fiddlesticks!
What, Wilbur?
We just got hit and I think my back is all been out of shape.
You gotta talk with those whippersnappers at the Advocates Law Firm. They're the best injury lawyers around.
What? Pipe down, Clarence! Abner's telling me about the lawyers and the advocates. So what happened to you, Abner?
I was walking across the street with the light when some young punk came screeching around the corner. I lost a toe.
What? Shut it, Clarence! If you get injured, the advocates get results.
AdvocatesLaw.com.
You're in the men's room. 99.9 KISW and KISW HD1 Seattle.
Be sure to head to KISW.com. Check out KISW's 50th anniversary merchandise. It's all new and it's there for you. Oh, man. I think I wore that hoodie thing about at least 4 days so far.
I am all about that knit cap.
That's what I'm wearing. Shoveling snow, walking, you name it, man. It's got a nice fleece liner in there. It's a nice hat.
It is.
We got a trucker hat for you, too, and a couple other T-shirts. Check it out as we celebrate KISW's 50th anniversary, and check out the rock shop at KISW.com. On our question, what dumbass thing did you or someone else do in the name of love? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Dylan. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello. Can you hear
Hola.
me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hola. All right. So it was something that my sister actually did. She stole my car in the name of love with her boyfriend at the time.
Do you mean borrowed it or stole it?
Well, it started out as borrowing without my permission, but when the cops get involved, I think they call it stealing at that point.
And what exactly was she driving to go see her boyfriend, or did her boyfriend take the car?
So her boyfriend took the car. Me and my mom were not in town, and I was with my mom, and we get a call from my sister saying that she's in a chase with the police.
Oh.
And so, yeah. But the funny thing...
That is funny.
Hello?
You got to be kidding me.
Oh, hey, you're there?
I put the keys under my mattress.
Hey, hold on for a minute. You just cut out for about 20 seconds. What did you say now? You and your mom did what now? You get a call from...
we got the call from my sister saying I'm in the middle of a chase with the police with her boyfriend Tim, and he was driving, and she was begging him to pull over, but he wouldn't do it. So he led the Puyallup Police Department on a chase through Sumner, and they ended up in the Daffodil Valley Rec Center parking lot where the car refused to work. And dogs were after him and found him in the back of someone's truck.
Was this your car that he was in a high-speed chase with?
It was my car, yes.
And why did he start the high-speed chase? Was he wanted on something?
He had warrants. I don't know exactly what for, but I think they were trying to pull him over for speeding, and then he sped up even more. And
What kind of car did you have at the time that he borrowed?
It was a 1997 Nissan Altima.
All right. And did anybody in your family know that he had warrants out for his arrest when he was dating your sister?
I did.
You did know.
I was the only one, which is why I hid my keys when we left town. I put them under my mattress. I was like, I don't want this fool borrowing my car.
If you don't mind me asking, what were the charges in relation to?
I honestly could not remember. I don't think it was anything too wild. I don't remember what his warrants were for, or even if that was disclosed to me. I just rememrembered my sister telling me he had some warrants.
But what was it about him where even when you went out of town, you had the presence of mind to try to hide your keys? Like, what was it about? Because you could have a warrant out for you, but I don't still think you're going to steal my car. So what was it about him where you're like, I just don't trust this guy?
He was a really big user. And I was nice enough to let him borrow my car a handful of times to, do whatever. And then eventually I just got a bad taste in my mouth, and I was like, I'm just going to leave the keys under the mattress. So, they were looking for it. They didn't just happen upon looking under my mattress.
Was this the end of your sister dating this guy, or did she continue to see him?
Oh, my goodness. She saw him in secret. She told us she stopped seeing him, but she was having a lot of correspondences with him when he was in jail, unbeknownst to us. And he even convinced her, she was trying to get her life on track. She joined the Job Corps. He convinced her to drop the Job Corps. So he was a real piece of work.
Thank you for using the word work. What is your sister doing now?
Right now, I believe she works for Amazon, doing some of the grocery stuff, Amazon delivery.
Do you not talk to her that often? Did you guys stop communicating because of all this?
No, we're just, like, kind of not already that close as it is. No ill will. Like, we're not estranged or anything.
Yeah.
We're just not the closest siblings in the
Okay.
world.
All right, fair enough.
Sounds like she has great taste in men, though. I mean, that's...
Yeah, I'm just trying to think, what is this guy got, a magical penis?
He has to.
Something. I mean, there's got to be something.
I mean, he got you in a high-speed chase because of several warrants. I mean, there's all the crap. You're under your brother's mattress to find the keys. Like, yeah.
Because ladies, but you hear those stories all the time.
What do you mean?
Like, somebody falls in love with somebody, and then that person's like, you're just like, and when they're out of the relationships, they realize. But when they're in it, it's already so chaotic. It doesn't seem crazy at the time.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Like, I'm with you. Sometimes, right, you see, especially like, from my point of view, like, you're an attractive woman, has it all together. What are you doing with that idiot?
Right.
But she loves him.
That's why we ask, what dumbass thing did you or someone else do in the name of love? 206-421-ROCK.
I feel like a high-speed chase. That's a...
To me, that's kind of like a, hey, babe,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Listen, it's not that I don't love you. I think we should take some time so you can work some S out.
Right. You're going to jail.
Yeah. Hello, Josh. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Happy 50th, guys.
Hey, thank you, man. We appreciate it.
No problem. So, long story short, when I was 18, still in high school, I got my tax return and decided that I wanted to go meet this girl that I had met online. So I hopped on a Greyhound from Tacoma to Chicago.
How long was that ride?
I think it was like 18, 20 hours or something like that.
Of living hell.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
All right.
And I get all the way over there, and she was like, "Oh, I didn't actually think you were coming," and she never showed up to the Greyhound station to pick me up.
So what do you do? I mean, do you spend the night in Chicago, or do you just buy another ticket and head straight back home?
Well, so I called my mom because she worked for Alaska Airlines, and she got me a guest pass back, and so she paid for me to fly back that night from Chicago to Seattle.
Why didn't you hit up Mom the first time around? I mean, look, you already saved your tax return, so whatever the difference is, I would think it'd be about the same.
Yeah. How much money did you have in your pocket at this point?
After the bus ticket, I have $60.
See, if you had just a little bit more money, you could have gone to a bar or something. And
Something, man.
Figured something out. Maybe slept in the airport the next day until your flight.
What,
I mean, well, and I had spent some of the money on my way over there to eat and everything like that. So I thought, okay, well, maybe I can find a job or something like that where they can pay me a couple of bucks an hour or something, just give me some food or something. And nobody, of course, was hiring because it was a Sunday and everything like that. So it was just a big old mess.
And you never heard from this person again, I guess.
I talked to her off and on after that for another year or so, but after that, I never really heard anything from her.
Do you think that this was actually a real person? Do you think this was just someone playing a game with you, or did you actually see this person, talk to him?
Person because I talked to her on Skype and stuff like
Okay.
that. This was back in 2008, 2009, so the internet was still up and coming, but I mean, you had Skype and everything like that. So
Interesting. All right. I wonder why she ghosted you like that.
I have no idea. And then I asked, but she never gave me a straight answer.
Probably because she had a boyfriend.
That's going to be my guess. Right? Oh, I didn't think you were coming after you said you were coming and told me the exact time you'd arrive. Well, come on.
Or you're 16 and you live at home with your parents.
I mean, imagine doing that to someone at the airport. Hey, man, my flight landed. What? I told you last week I was coming. Oh, I just didn't think you meant it. So I'm not at the airport. Sorry.
What dumbass thing did you or someone else do in the name of love? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Robin. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, how's it going, boys?
Hola.
Well, for me, stupid thing I did for love was, well, I had started dating this girl in high school, and she was really cute, and my high school brain thought, wow, she's the one. I'm in love, you know how it goes. And so anyways, we went to her house, and I was kind of a troublemaker, so the focus for her and for me was I had to make a good impression, all right? Because her family was kind of a big deal. She was a family gal. Anyhow, we go out, and it's the holidays, so we go and cut down a Christmas tree. We're doing all this, happy family stuff. And afterwards, we set up the Christmas tree. It's really wholesome. Everything's going well. Well, we sneak off to her room, and, things start moving a little faster. And anyways, she's on top of me, and her dad walks in the door, unbeknownst to any of us, because we're in her rooms. And luckily, as things were literally we were about to go off to the races, I look over her shoulder, and her dad is staring with a fury I've never seen in a human being ever in my life at me. So I shut everything down, obviously, and she's mortified. And he's kind of a tough, intimidating guy. He goes, yeah, I think you guys should hang out in the living room. Now, I go out into the living room, and I have to go home and change into some nicer clothes because we're supposed to meet after this for like introducing your boyfriend dinner to the whole family kind of thing. And I had to have like a real tough discussion with my own self when I got home on whether or not I should even go back into that house for that dinner.
Did you?
I did, yeah. And I continued with my charm that everybody but that dad saw, and everybody liked me enough.
Okay.
But, man, when he was eating that dinner, like just the way he was chewing, I knew he wanted to beat me up.
Yeah.
See, yeah.
But you still showed up. I think it's key that you walk back in there.
That's
not
huge.
proudly, but you walk back.
Look, the dad still wanted to kill you, but he definitely respected that you came back.
I've never been in that position before, but I could have been in that position before, and I guarantee you, the last thing I would want to do is kill anybody. I would just be like, you gotta be goddamn kidding me. Like, be smarter than this. You know what time I get home.
Maybe he didn't want to kill me, but that look in his eyes,
Yeah, I'm always just more.
What else do you think that look may have meant?
I'm always
he wanted to kill you. Make no mistake about this.
Right. I'm always just disappointed when, it's obvious. Like, I've got one joint left in this jar, and then I wake up the next day and it's gone, and my kid's sleeping in. I'm like, come on, I had one left.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, what the hell are you doing going in there stealing my weed? You're old enough. Buy your own weed. Leave me alone.
Well, yeah, but
sex, it's real easy. If you're in my home, look, if you're married, have kids, I don't care what you do, right? But, you're dating my daughter. You're 18. I've been 18. Look, guys, if you're 18 or younger, you will never trick a man who is 19 or older. We've all been there. We've all done the same. I don't care what country you're from. I don't care your religious background. I don't care your race. Whatever crap you use to identify yourself, F you. When it comes to dudes, 100% the same. So, yeah. In the guy's house, get an apartment, parents know what's going on. We're moving in. You can say the convenience of bills. In the end, we are plowing each other like goddamn fresh snow. It's understood. But in the house, and I almost think that's more of it. It's not like, I know you want to sleep with my daughter. That's why you're dating her. Yeah. I'm not stupid. No effing kidding. But you just can't do it here. And even then, if you're going to do it here, can I not be home, right? It's just a little thing.
It's uncomfortable for everybody.
Hey, man, I know you want to have sex with my daughter. I don't care. I know you're going to have sex with my daughter. I don't care. I know you're going to have sex in the room. I don't care. I'm home. Now I care. That's it. That's all I'm asking.
I had one dad who wanted to kill me. I was one dad that I know of for a fact. I was
there's more.
I was a junior in high school. This girl was a senior. She was very attractive. I don't know what happened. I think it was like 2 weeks before her prom, she and her boyfriend, they had been dating for, since the beginning of time.
Perfect timing.
One of those deals. They break up.
I'm the rebound man.
And he's like a senior, so he's older than me, and he's bigger than me and everything else, but I knew the guy because we played sports together. But either way, she didn't have a date for the prom, so she asked me. Well, I knew a lot about her, kind of, sort of. So I'm like, all right, well, I knew that she had sex before, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, this is going to be all right.
I know a lot about you.
Yeah, I know you had sex.
I know you had sex.
That was the first question I asked everybody. She had sex? So anyway, maybe I hadn't, or I can't remember the deal, but she asked me to prom. And in West Virginia, in Seattle, man, you can get seafood all over the place. In West Virginia, there's no seafood.
Well, sure.
And when I mean there's no seafood, what I mean is Long John Silver's or Arthur Treacher's was the closest thing that you were getting to anything remotely. You had to drive to Maryland. You could go to the beach. You could get seafood there. But if you're having fish in West Virginia, it's probably going to be breadstick, cod, catfish, trout. You get the idea.
Fried shrimp.
So
frozen fried shrimp.
So I'm going to get this, man. I've got this nailed down. There is a seafood restaurant just over the border in Pennsylvania, right? They have crab legs. They have crab imperial. They have shrimp cocktail. They have all this stuff. It's prom night. We go to this restaurant. I think it was called Dolphy's.
All right. Sounds great.
Yeah. It was in Uniontown, Pennsylvania.
I think
it's called
Dolphy's. A little close to dolphin.
Yeah, pretty close. I think it's called Dolphy's in Uniontown.
We just said it's seafood.
So I'm all dressed up, man. I got my frickin' rented tux on. I'm getting laid. I'm having sex with a senior. This is going to be great. So, and I talked to her about it. And she's like, I've always wanted to just go and get really a nice seafood restaurant. I've never really had seafood before. Sure. It was just, we're high school kids. Your parents didn't take you to those restaurants.
No.
So not like that. So she never really had seafood. So we get this big ass shrimp cocktail. All right. We start getting into that. Then I think I ordered like a couple of crab cakes for us. Main course is coming. I look over at her. Her face is turned bright red. She is flushed and on fire and starting to break out into hives and starts sipping water real quick. And I'm like, hey, man, are you okay? Because we'd had maybe a couple in the parking lot before we went in there. I just want to make sure she wasn't, getting sick or whatever. She's like, my throat is closing up. And I said, your throat is closing up. She's like, yeah, I can't. I'm having a hard time breathing, and I don't know what's going on. And I'm like, and I don't know. I'm not understanding at this point in time allergies.
Sure.
This is just not. I'm 16 years old. Like these things are not clicking into my head.
Yeah.
Like she's never had seafood before. So anyway, she's like, I've got to go home. Like I can't breathe. She started to wheeze in the car. So we're kind of far away. We're like 45 minutes an hour away from the actual dance. So we start driving back down the road, and she is really, really struggling, and I don't know what to do, and I don't know what's going on. But I'm like, let's just go straight to the emergency room.
Yeah.
But let's, and then
probably a good call.
Then when we get there, we can call your parents, and if it's serious, they can come to the hospital. So we get to the hospital. They take her in. As soon as she walks in, she is in the back. Like there's no messing around. So she gives me the number. I've got to call her parents. And I'm like, hi, we're in the hospital in the ER. I don't know what's going on. Like I did not know what was going on.
Sure. You don't know.
I didn't know what a shellfish allergy was or whatever the deal was.
She didn't either.
You know what I'm saying? So either way, her dad just comes storming in there like, what did you do to my daughter? And it's like, I didn't do anything. I was like, and he's like, were you drinking? And I'm like, yes, she had 2 wine coolers. I had 2 beers. I told him the truth. Because I didn't know if she was like having a
alcohol reaction or a seafood.
I didn't even put the seafood thing on. I just figured.
If you don't know, you wouldn't think it, right?
And he's just like, look, what happened? Did you guys do any drugs? Did you smoke? I'm like, no, we didn't do anything like that.
I gave her shrimp, man.
And like after that, I was just like, I'm not going out with you anymore. You're dead to me.
I don't care that you've had sex.
I had to rent this damn thing at like $70. Look like this. And then I went and spent like $70 on dinner. You know what I mean? Didn't get to finish it. Had to like leave in the middle of it. You know what I mean? Like just.
And this was a guaranteed thing for her.
This is guaranteed. Well, no, she'd had sex before. Well, nothing is guaranteed. But I just thought I had a better opportunity.
You were confident.
I thought, man, maybe I can play in the playground. You know what I'm saying? You can invite me over.
Right.
Just like, God, man. It sucked. And the dinner was, you don't understand, man. I'm walking out on food that I really, really wanted. This is something like I love crab legs, and it was like my vacation to Ocean City.
Dude, I'm with you. I can't remember if it was. I think my senior year, same thing before one of the dances, either homecoming or prom, probably homecoming. We're gonna go to this seafood restaurant in Greenbelt, Maryland, right? Same thing. You're real fired up.
Oh yeah,
Sir Walter Riley. That was what the place was called, Sir Walter Riley Inn, right? So I remember, same thing. I am all fired up. My date, I'm like, order whatever you want. There's like 8 of us there. I remember this old guy leans over and he goes, I have a coupon for 10% off for groups of 10 or more. And I was like, I'll take that coupon. And she's like, you're going to use the coupon? I was like, did you see the prices on this?
Yes.
You're damn right I'm using this coupon.
I said you could order anything. Now I can save 10%.
Right.
Oh, yeah. And that old guy felt so good. I felt good.
Well, she'd never had lobster before, so she got the fillet and the lobster tail, right?
Yeah.
It's like, at this point in time, it's like $55. This is like 1987.
This is all the money you got,
1987.
right?
Like, this is every dollar I've saved from cutting grass, raking leaves, shoveling snow, babysitting. Like, I've got this money saved up, and I'm going to use it. And I even went out and bought condoms. Like, I had everything figured out. You know what I mean? Like, everything. And we had hush puppies.
I was going to say, that's something too, like, where I grew up in Maryland, like, you eat crabs and steamed shrimp.
Sure.
But most of the time, somebody was steaming the crabs and steaming the shrimp. So going to a restaurant where you're getting like shrimp cocktail. I don't know why. Shrimp cocktail.
Cloth napkins.
Right.
This is way
seems like the most exotic, crazy thing in the world. Like, I am rich.
They just came over and poured us water. Like, this is crazy.
Water.
Right. Oh my God, there's a bread basket.
And then in retrospect, you're going to see the annoyance in the waiter's face. It's like, these kids are not going to tip.
At all.
And that was
done all this work. Broke ass.
They had like the soft butter that had been like flavored with sugar.
Yeah, real rolls.
Oh yeah, I was just like, and then we left before the actual, we had to rush out.
She owes you a dinner. Look her up on Facebook.
Yeah, you know what?
To this day. They're like, hey, man, this was a really good dinner.
It scared me to death. The whole thing scared the living hell out of me, man. Because I was like, I think I killed her. I don't know how I killed her.
Oh, my gosh, you got to die.
I killed her with 2 Bartles and James wine coolers. What dumbass thing did you or someone else do in the name of love? 206-421-ROCK.